Hi, Daniela. So, yay, we're back with the Campfire. So, today's episode is going to be about the student experience team and what the serverless camp is going to be like. So, let's do a little introduction. I am Julia. I'm one of the student instructors for the camp. I'll be running the office hours and just checking in with you guys, with all the students who are hopefully watching right now, and make sure you guys are doing great and having fun. And Daniela, what about you?
Hi everyone, I'm Daniela. I'm part of the student experience team and the partnership team with Bit Project. And so me and Anita, who you'll be meeting soon, are running the social events and helping your experience be as great as it can be. So a quick recap about what this whole weekly live stream is about. We've talked about different project tracks and different projects that students have done in the past, as well as last week we did a little bit of overview and a little prep for students to get a preview of what their experience will be like soon.
Yeah, that was definitely a fun episode. So yeah, this week we have our guest is from the student experience team, and her name is Anita. So, hi, Anita.
Hi guys.
Yay.
Hey.
Hey, yeah, so my name is Anita. I'm currently going to be a senior at the University of Illinois at Chicago. I'm studying computer science, and I'm also on the student experience team with Daniela. And I'm super excited to speak about all the logistics and what's going on with the camp. And yeah.
It's great to have you back. You were on a previous episode, weren't you?
I was, yes. I think 2 episodes ago I was here, so I'm back.
Awesome. So so could you just give us an overview of, how the student experience is going to be different this year, not this year, this cohort?
Yeah, sure. So I actually participated in a past iteration, the last iteration of the serverless cohort, and what we're looking to do this time for student experience is kind of base the curriculum, and not the curriculum, but the whole camp based on student experience and your guys' feedback. So we want to conduct weekly surveys to make sure you guys are doing good with everything logistically, and also host some pretty cool social events.
Yeah, Daniela, you've been working on those, right? So could you tell us a little bit more?
Yes, for sure. So some social events that you guys can look forward to are we're doing a professional nights with a mentor, so you can get resume review or LinkedIn review, or just get some insight into what it's like to be professional in tech. We're also doing a fun PowerPoint night, which we'll reveal the theme of later, and a few different game nights throughout your time in the Bit Camp, just to kind of get to know other students in the camp and have some fun as well. And so we're going to go over as well kind of the overall schedule of what a typical week will look like in the camp. Just you'll get more of an orientation during the actual orientation, but this is a quick overview of what it'll look like. So I'm just going to pull up the slide here. And we'll just go over just some main points about the student experience. Awesome. So part of a weekly aspect of the student experience team will be the live stream. The live stream is what you'll be attending every week. It'll be led by your instructors, and you'll go over course material, and you'll also have a post live stream assignment that will be due shortly after. Julia, if you want to touch on the live stream at all, because I know you'll be working on that.
Yeah, sure. So in the live stream, we're going to cover some of the homework that you're going to do, and that's what Daniela just mentioned. The live stream assignment. That's different. There's going to be some extra homework afterward you're going to have to complete. But during the live stream, we're going to just explain how you're going to go through each of those steps, and we're going to go through those steps and just help you get through that live stream homework.
And then another aspect as well is that all live streams will be recorded. Because everyone's kind of in a different time zone, you don't have to worry if you can't make it live, but we do highly encourage you to make it live if you can. Attendance will be is highly encouraged, but again, if it doesn't work for your time zone, no worries at all. Anita, would you want to talk about the weekly assignments and kind of how we're going to be measuring into account individual student progress?
Sure. So for weekly assignments, we're going to be making sure your progress is kept on an application called Poly. Poly is basically a Slack bot that'll send out surveys to all of you guys each week, and we're just going to kind of ask you questions about how you're doing with the homework and the curriculum, as well as how the work sessions are going, just to make sure everyone's on track and you guys have all your questions sort of answered as well.
Awesome. Another part is that there are also going to be weekly office hours led by your instructors, such as Julia. And this is a time for you to, they will be mandatory. It's a time for you to check in, and you don't have to stay, you have to stay for the full hour, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
They'll be, they're more of check-ins, not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to ask questions, but we do encourage that you ask questions if you have them, or just hear if anybody else has any questions about the homework, because you might have those and not have thought of them.
Yeah, and it's also a great time to get the homework done during that time too with the other students in the cohort. There's also going to be weekly mentor meetings, which during this time you'll do pair programming. You could talk about like different questions, and every week we'll have like a different theme, so you can talk about different aspects of like tech and like your experience in serverless during that time. And then towards the end of the camp, the mentor meetings will be focused on your final project, which will help you create and finalize. And then, are there anything else that we want to touch on with the social events?
Not really. I feel like social events will be a good chance for all the students to kind of get to know each other and kind of make it seem like more of a community and talk to each other. So that's sort of the goal with it, and we hope that you guys like them all.
Awesome. Does anyone, now we'll kind of open the floor, does anyone have any questions about what we just discussed, or anything like that? We can also go through some questions that we think you might have, but I'll leave a few minutes just to see if anyone has any questions for us.
Yeah, the user experience isn't going to be like drastically different, but it's definitely a lot of really good improvements just based on feedback, like Anita said, based on feedback from past students, just to make it the best experience that it can be.
Yeah, it's definitely curated for like the student experience. And I think the feedback will be such a great way to kind of get what your experiences and everything like that. Awesome.
Yeah. So I think, should we lead in with just a few common questions, maybe, Daniela?
Awesome. So one of the questions that I know I had as a student and one of the big ones are the deadlines strict? So maybe Julia, do you want to touch on that?
Yeah, sure. So we definitely encourage that you get stuff done by the deadline, and it's really important that you get them done. But if you can't, or if you have any kind of emergency, you can just message us, and we will definitely give you a break on that. But you can definitely get bogged down if you don't complete the work on time continually. So it's not great to procrastinate or not be able to get things done by the deadline. But obviously, if there are any extreme circumstances, we'll definitely let you, you can not use the deadline.
Awesome. And is there a specific date for when homework assignments are due each week, or the homework assignments for the live stream?
Yeah, so the live stream assignments are going to be due after, so the specific assignments that we cover in the live stream, that's once a week, those will be due soon after the live stream. So you should get those done. You can get those done during the live stream if you want to. That might be good just because we walk through step by step so you could follow us. But you could also watch it afterwards, so you have a little bit of time if you watch it recorded. But the other homework that's outside of the live stream homework is going to be due at a different time. So you'll have more time to complete that. It's basically the same concepts that we cover in the live stream, just different application of the same concepts.
And I know you guys just revamped the system for how they're going to be doing their homeworks, and it looks really awesome so far. So you guys should be excited for that. And just so kind of a heads up for everyone, you'll be added to the Slack next Monday. So people look out for an email to join the Slack channel for the camp. Another question that I know I had before coming in, do you need to know how to use GitHub or kind of all the different technologies that you'll be using for the homework and everything like that?
Yeah, it's definitely well, when I was part of the second serverless cohort, I didn't really know GitHub existed before, but it's important that you know the basics once you start the course. So maybe if you don't know what it is, maybe like look up some refresher and look up some videos. Just you should know like what a repository is, a few technical terms that will be really helpful in the in completing the homework. Yeah. Oh, I think we have another question.
Awesome. When do we need to know what we want to do for our final projects?
So it's good to know by week 5, you're gonna like solidify what you're gonna do and work on, and you might start working on it in week 5. But the last 4 weeks, you're just gonna work on your projects. You don't want to be brainstorming week 5 and week 6. Maybe just at the beginning of week 5. It'd be great if you brainstorm throughout the first 4 weeks and just come up with some ideas, maybe based on some of the homework. Take some of the APIs that we use and make something bigger. But brainstorm along the way. You're going to want to get it solidified at week 5.
And I know, Anita, you kind of went through your project from when you were part of the serverless camp. And I know some of them, some other examples have been done in previous weekly live show episodes, as well as there's a blog on the website as well that kind of goes through some examples too. So you'll be receiving a full schedule. I'm so sorry. You'll be receiving a full schedule next week during the orientation, and when you're added to the Slack channel, you'll have a better, everything will be lined out there. So no worries about that. You're all good. It'll also be on Notion. Everything with the schedule, dates for the live streams, homework, everything like that will be on Notion, and you'll get more information about that during the orientation.
Also, if you just have any questions that you're really not sure, like if you don't get to ask it at the live stream and right now, and maybe come up with it later, feel free to ask us, email us, and you'll be added to Slack soon. So you can just DM us. Like, we're really open to questions. We want you to ask questions. We don't want you to be confused. Really be open and ask questions. So yeah, you go.
So you'll be added to the Slack channel next week. So keep an eye out in your email for that. You'll be getting that notice soon.
Awesome. So I guess any more questions? Okay, awesome. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's my dad. This is his office, so he got to decorate. That's cool. You know what model it is. I would never know that. Yeah. Okay. So if there are any other questions, well, we definitely love to answer those. If not, we can transition, I think, into the interactive activity, but we can just wait a few more seconds if you want, Daniela.
Sure. We can wait. Let's wait another minute or two. Feel free to ask all questions about anything. Another one that we kind of thought that people might have is, are the social events mandatory? Anita, do you want to touch on that?
Sure, yeah. No, they're not mandatory, but they're a good chance to meet everyone, meet the other students, and specifically for the professional event, you guys will have the chance to meet some other mentors, maybe not the one that you're assigned to, so that'll be a good chance to get to know everyone as well. So they're highly encouraged, but not mandatory.
Yeah, those social events are going to be really fun. They sound really awesome. Yeah. But Anita, could you tell us maybe a little bit more about your experience? Just, I know you kind of gave an overview, but maybe like a little bit more detail.
Yeah, sure. So coming into the camp, I didn't really have much experience with APIs. I didn't know what serverless was, and I've never worked with Azure before, so I was kind of coming into new territory, maybe similar to some of you guys. And I kind of went through the curriculum, asked a lot of questions to the instructors, and during week 4 and 5, I planned with my mentor for my project. And you guys can watch the episode if you shows back more about that. But I had a really great experience with my mentor. I feel like we bonded a lot over my project. It was all about food and kind of meeting in the middle and finding restaurants. So that was pretty exciting. And yeah, I definitely learned a lot, and I hope you guys do too.
Yeah, your project was really cool. I love the combination of like everything you've learned plus just like your interest.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. So if there aren't any other questions, should we transition to the activity?
Yeah, it sounds good. So we have a little activity set up. So kind of in preparation to the PowerPoint night, I'm going to reveal the theme. We're going to do like fictional startups. So we're going to have an event where we'll be pairing everyone into, oh, actually we have another question. So we can quickly go to that before kind of going to the next thing. But so can projects be done in groups, or does everything have to be individual?
No, actually you do your project by yourself, but with your mentor's help. Really rely on your mentor. I did. I'm pretty sure everybody does, but you don't work with other people. I mean, you should get to know them, and obviously like through the social events and even just in office hours. But no, you don't work on your project with other people.
Yeah, I guess to add on to that, you guys can feel free to like bounce ideas off each other. That's like more than welcome. But for the final project, it is individual.
Yeah, that's a really great idea.
Yeah, and also I think the office hours are another great place, like kind of bounce those ideas off of for the project as well as the mentors.
Mm-hmm.
So for the event that we're having with the PowerPoint night, and something we're going to kind of give you a chance to kind of preview today is creating fictional startups. So we're going to give everyone, during the actual PowerPoint night, we're going to split everyone into groups, give you about 20 minutes to create your business plan and create a website for, or like website design for your fictional startup, and you'll be able to present it, and we'll see how that will go. And so today we're actually going to see what your ideas for fictional startups are, just to kind of get some fun into it. So one example that Daniel, the head of Big Camp, came up with was Wigs for Babies, which is definitely a market that has not been tapped into yet. Another idea we had from someone else on the team was an app that you can put, I think it was fruit on your face or something like that. So just some great, honestly, go for like the funniest, best ideas you've got. We have a Figma link that we'll send, and you can edit. What are my startup ideas? Oh, what are your guys' startup ideas? Sorry. So we'll have a Figma app that we're going to send in the chat, and then you can go in there and kind of create, a web page for what you think would be a very cool and currently not created startup.
I love how Daniel manages to come up with like
I know
obscure ideas. Nobody's ever thought of those. I mean, maybe someone has somewhere, but I mean, I'd never heard of that.
I know. I was trying to come up with some ideas, and I was like, Instagram for dogs? I feel like that's not as creative as Wigs for Babies, though.
Yeah. My brain would probably just go blank.
People are really creative. I'm like, some of the ideas I thought of, I looked up to see if they were like real ideas, and a lot of people had done those ideas. So I think you guys are more creative than I was.
Yeah, it's always fun when you're trying to come up with like something new and cool, and then it's like, oh wait, that's already done. Start from scratch.
Exactly. So we'll give you guys like, I don't know, how much time should we give them to go through this?
A few minutes.
Yeah,
I mean,
like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. We'll see what the progress report is in a few minutes and kind of go from there.
Yeah. Everyone here is super creative, so I doubt it'll take you an hour to come up with something.
I know last week there were some really creative ideas for the serverless app, so
oh yeah.
I'm excited to see what you guys come up with.
I think Shreya said this last week, but I love all the different mouses moving across the page. It's pretty cool.
Also, you guys all have an assigned page if that makes it easier. If you look on the left, you each have a page that you can edit individually. So if that is helpful. Yeah, if you look on, you should be able to see like an individual page with your name. So feel free to edit your page on there, and then we'll be able to see it on the main part.
Anita, I'll put you on the spot here. Do you have any crazy startup ideas?
Nothing really comes to mind for me either. I know Emily's idea was a company that sells mustaches. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, one that I was thinking of was like a dating app, but for like based on boba preferences, which personally would be cool. But apparently, as of January 2021, this is already something that exists. So,
Wow.
Oh no. What's your favorite flavor of boba, Daniela?
I used to be a milk-based boba fan, but now I'm gone for more the fruity ones. Also, to whoever has moved their page off, you can just keep it where it was originally, and if you see your name on the side, you can just edit it if you click on that page, which might be easier. But you guys look like I'm seeing some ideas come together. This is awesome. How about you, Julia? Any startup ideas?
Oh, Yeah, put me on the spot. Come back tomorrow and I'll probably have an idea. But yeah, my brain never works when people ask me stuff. Literally, yeah, I've been asked math questions on the spot that are so easy. And my brain just completely freaks out. So
happens to all of us. I don't know. Do you guys have any advice for students coming in for the bootcamp? I know for me, when I was a student, definitely my piece of advice would be definitely keep on top of the weekly assignments, because live streams come quicker than you'd expect, and you're on to the next topic. So definitely just keep on top of the work. It's very manageable, or at least I thought it was very manageable. So yeah, just keep on top of it. And you guys have any advice?
I agree with you. I think that's definitely like the most important, is just keeping on top of everything, and also asking questions. I think we said this earlier, but it's really, really important that if you're struggling with something, and don't think, oh, this question might be, oh, they probably know this, and they'll say, oh, I don't really know anything. That's not true. It's every question's a good question, and I know Daniel might have said this last week, but yes, no question is a stupid question in my book, because I've asked plenty. So no question is stupid. Yeah. What do you think, Anita?
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Julia. I also feel like, as Daniela said, just kind of on the same line, time management and starting early, just so that if you do run into any problems, maybe with the curriculum, or you're not familiar with something, you have more than enough time to ask those questions, get them answered, and sort of like fix your way through it. The work does pile really quickly if you don't. So it would just be good just to keep the relaxed environment and make sure everyone's learning.
Yeah. Okay, I think we have another question. I'll ask this to Anita. So this person said, I've never used Figma before. Do I need to learn how to use this for future projects? And that's on the screen, so you probably already read that.
Sure, yeah. So for Figma, you don't need to know how to use it. I actually don't know how to use Figma either, but for the camp, there will be a workshop on it, so you guys can learn, and it is a great tool to know how to use.
Yeah, I know even like as a college student, and my sister in high school has used it for like little projects, but I just found out about it this year too, so that's definitely a cool tool. Another question that just came in: will there be a voice component in our future interactions? Let me get back to you on that one. I'm not Do you guys have any insight on that?
Well, if you're talking about like office hours, yeah, it's not like a chat. It's not like a Skype chat or anything. It might, I'm not sure exactly what platform we're using, but yes, there will definitely be voice interaction. Yeah. Okay, Shreya, you take this
Should I
over.
answer this question? Yeah. So it's actually going to be slightly different than usual in the lecture live streams. If you have questions, you will be able to join in with your video and audio. And then, like Julia was saying, in the work sessions this time, no longer office hours, but it'll be a complete Zoom call where you'll have your videos and your audios on, so you can talk to people. This weekly show itself is just like a show that we do to talk a little bit about the cool stuff that Bit Project does and get a little bit more traction to what we're doing. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna head out.
Awesome.
I love that, Shreya, just popping in and out. No, I think actually to answer your question earlier, I got this not a day later, but startup. I could take like I think I did a project in my serverless cohort. It was about the weather. You enter in your zip code and it tells you what the weather will be tomorrow. How that could be a startup, I guess. Selling different. I think actually Daniela had this as an idea last time, but selling different like recommending different clothes too, I guess, if based on the weather, and also maybe just expanding it so it's like more weather recommendation, because I use just like 1 p.m., which isn't necessarily the entire day. So maybe just finding like the average between all of those, and also selling spaced ads. So that'd be great. Make a
That
little
would be
profit for that.
awesome. It's always such a struggle, especially right now on the East Coast, or for anyone on the East Coast, the weather's kind of a little on and off. So definitely would be nice to like get some clothes recommendations based on the weather tomorrow. That would be a really cool startup. I would use that.
Absolutely.
How about you, Anita? How would you turn your project into a startup?
I guess we can combine with Julia's idea and make one giant startup and have it be what recipes you can have based on the weather and what clothes you should wear to the restaurant. So you have your whole day planned out.
And bubble recommendations.
Right, yes.
That's an app I would use.
Ooh, I'm starting to see some stuff on here.
Yeah, should we start looking through just to see? I don't want to stop anyone midway, but we'll just look at the ideas. We'll just view the ideas just to see where everyone's at.
All right, awesome.
Let's see. Start.
Oh, this one might be typing still.
We're watching you. No, just kidding.
An app to track. Oh, that's cool. To track meditation time. That's really cool.
Oh, the Pomodoro Technique. I've actually never used it, but I heard it really helps people with productivity. And I feel like I'm always on my phone like every 5 minutes when I'm trying to do work. So that would probably help me.
Especially with everything on Zoom, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like productivity was like a huge issue during like COVID and everything becoming online, because like there's so many distractions like just within reach.
Game night every night. I love the name.
Same.
Oh, playdates for puppies. Love that one.
Let's see, has the first one we were looking at, has that finished? Maybe? Oh, I think they're still typing.
Oh, I love that. Uncreative individual startups. That's great.
I would use that one.
Absolutely.
I know. I would have never thought of wigs for babies. That's just like true creativity right there.
Absolutely.
Think of all those like untapped markets right now.
Oh yeah. I think the
Is there one-
craziest is Zoom. Zoom like completely got huge during COVID.
Mhm.
What were you gonna say, Anita?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, is there one on the bottom left-hand corner that we missed? If they're done.
Oh yeah.
Plug and play tech build for, oh, that's cool, for veteran entrepreneurs. I love that. Oh, yes, the rate your landlord and leasing office. I went to school in New York City, and that would be a great thing to know. Definitely something that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Looks like you guys are coming up with some like really creative and like very creative ideas that I would definitely, if they were an app, I'd download them. If they were a startup, I would definitely use their services.
Absolutely. Hey, and at the social event when we do it, you'll have some time to brainstorm, so it won't just be on the spot.
Hopefully, this has served as some like good inspiration for what to do, and maybe this actually might serve some inspiration of what to do for your project after you learn some serverless technologies.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, remember when you're brainstorming an idea for serverless, it doesn't have to be like completely new and something that nobody's ever done before, because that's really hard. I mean, we can't even come up with like with companies really, but just like something that's cool, something that you'd want to use. It doesn't have to be like the next Apple, really. I mean,
No, this is really cool. And so we'll give you guys another 3 or 4 minutes to kind of finish up with your ideas, but this is a great way. You continue during the social event with these ideas and kind of give a fuller presentation then. But maybe while they're finishing up, if you guys want to talk about maybe how you were inspired to create the projects that you ended up going with.
yeah, sure. Anita, you go first.
Sure, yeah. I guess with COVID, I was just kind of missing like the social aspect of kind of eating out, especially since I go to school in downtown Chicago. And nowadays, whenever I do want to meet up with a friend, we always have to pick a restaurant in the middle. So I just felt like I could combine that idea and just sort of come up with something that picks restaurants in the middle based on our cuisine and kind of what we're craving, and make that whole experience a little bit easier. So that's kind of where my serverless idea came from.
Awesome.
Yeah, and for me, I like outdoor activities, like hiking, biking, just taking walks outside. But it's kind of a pain. You have to check the weather all the time, and you have to enter your zip code and all that stuff. So I combined like planning the activities for tomorrow with checking the weather, so you don't have to really check the weather and like think about it, because everybody hates to think nowadays. But no, so you combine the two, and it comes up with activities just so that you remove that extra step in there and just makes it easier.
Awesome. So maybe let's take one last look at what everyone come up with. But again, you'll be able to kind of continue this brainstorming and ideas during the social event. So hopefully you can all make it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
All right. So
So thanks everyone for joining us today. It was really great to see all of your ideas, and I hopefully on the PowerPoint night we'll get to see them a little bit more.
yeah, and thanks Anita for coming on again, and also shout out to Shreya, who's been working all the back end. But thanks everybody for joining us and contributing your awesome ideas, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Awesome.